Test. Test. It's working. Hello at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just loading the standard setup as my qualifying setup is a little bit too OP. But today we are doing 75 laps, which is 37.5% full distance of the full distance to come in. Well, not any rain or anything, but I've messed around with the weather settings to where it'll go from sunny to light cloud back to sunny and whatnot. I've also messed with the time progression, so the time of day should change throughout the race. I haven't messed with the AI difficulty or aggression. It's still at 80% AI aggression and 120 maximum AI difficulty. And we are racing in Tony Kanann's number 10 Chip Ganassi Chevrolet, which I believe has NTT data on it. So we are starting 13th, if I can scroll over to there we go. Yep, there we are in 13th. So we're going to adjust our pit strategy here to this one, simply because, well, fuel up the car to max. In the default pit strategy, they don't fuel up your car to the max. So we're going to fuel up our car. So I've adjusted the that pit strategy to fuel up our car to the brim. That way we can make the race on 2 pit stops. I've done some practice races on these settings, and it seems that the AI generally do 3 pit stops, with about 4 or 5 of them only doing 2. So we want to make 1 less pit stop. That'll be more time on track. So there is our pit setup. So let's begin. So we are starting 13th. Hopefully that's far enough up to prevent some so we don't get into the shenanigans there. Now the AI are going to get a jump on me for whatever reason. I just cannot start the car. I think I have to change my gearing. Here we go. And the AI are away, but that's okay. Oh. Nope. We're off the track. Damn it. We're gonna have some catching up to do. Son of a... Buddy Lazier, in the number 4 car, just slowed up in front of me, and I went to slam on the brakes, and it spun my car around. So we're gonna have some catching up to do. Just how I wanted this stream to go. Not that anybody's watching, so what the hell, does it matter? Maybe I should have ran my OP setup. That way I could catch back up to the, oh no, I see the rear of the field, so hopefully we can catch back up to them. Oh yeah, they're really slow. Now, of course, this car is the Chevrolet Aero kit. I'll go to the exterior view in a minute so I could show you. Other things I've done is I've added manual pit stops, so we will actually have to go we'll actually control the car down pit road. We'll have to find our pit box, and we control the car exiting pit road. Try to add in the realism here. You can see the light clouds starting to form. Well, we see the back of the field, but we're not catching up to them quite just yet. But that's okay. I'm going to keep the fuel mixture on rich to get the most power out of the car so we can try and catch up to the back of the field. The race engineer is happy about us setting fast laps. It looks like the rear of the field is continuously slowing down, which is good news for us. I actually did an online race today, before I started the stream here at Indianapolis with some random guys, and I actually won. It was due to the fact that the leaders actually wrecked in front of me, but hey, a win's a win and I'll take it any way I can get it. So here we go, we finally caught back up to the rear of the field. Very slow. I'm going to pop back up into 6th. And we're going to work with this guy in front of us to catch back up through the field. I've also found the setting for the spotter. That way I don't run into guys trying to pass me like I used to. I believe this is Sage Karam. Or no, not Sage Karam, Pippa Man, my bad. Pippa Man, she only drives the Indianapolis 500 every year. Yep, the spotter telling me that she's outside. Oop. We still got into Pippa Man, but I think she got into us. I held my line. I also tried racing with the damage off, or with the damage on, but I haven't got quite good enough to do that yet. Maybe next time I'll race with damage on. The damage is actually very good. See, that's why I still race with damage off. Jesus. In real life, that would have ended both of our races, and he would have been at fault there. So yeah, not the greatest start to this race ever. That's alright, we got plenty of racing left to do. Might be beneficial for us to shift up. Getting a racing wheel for my PlayStation. Right now, I am driving with a controller, and while the game is playable with the controller, it's ideal. It's ideal that you have a racing wheel. I mean, for arcade racing games like Need for Speed, Burnout, games like that, it's okay to have a controller. But for games like Project Cars, Gran Turismo Sport, hell, I'll even go as far as to say Forza Motorsport on the Xbox, you really want a wheel. The wheel I'm going to be getting is the Thrustmaster T150 Pro. I could get the standard Thrustmaster T150. There's no difference between the standard Thrustmaster T150 wheel and T150 Pro package. The difference is the pedals. If you get the standard T150 package, it comes with the standard pedals, which I've read reviews online and watched reviews on YouTube, and the general consensus seems to be that the standard pedals that come with the Thrustmaster T150 are subpar at best. I mean, you can race with them, but they're not ideal. They're not what you want. So the Thrustmaster T150 Pro package comes with I can't remember what kind of pedals it comes with, but it comes with better pedals. It comes with the 3-pedal setup, so you have the clutch, the brake, and the throttle. The pedals have better resistance, better grip. So that's what I'm going to get. It's at the standard Thrustmaster T150 package is $200. You can search around and get it for cheaper, but retail MSRP is $200. For the Thrustmaster T150 Pro package, it's retailed at $249.99, so $250, and the pedals it comes with are about $100 themselves, so you're paying $50 extra for $100 worth of pedals. That's a no-brainer. And the Thrustmaster T150, it has the force feedback. For those of you who don't know, force feedback is a system in the wheel that vibrates and shakes the wheel to give you information about what the car is actually doing, as if you were driving a car in real life. Like, you look on the screen and you see how the wheel is kind of shaking back and forth. That's what the wheel will be doing in my hand to tell me what the car is doing. And it overall helped me. It's really necessary for sim racing. All the professional sim race guys recommend it. Inside Sim Racing, Jimmy Broadbent, Empty Box, they all recommend force feedback wheels. Hey look, there's Max Chilton, the guy we were driving as last video. But they all recommend, all the professional sim racers recommend a force feedback wheel. I mean, I could go cheaper and get a Hori Apex or a Thrustmaster T80, but they do not offer the force feedback. The Thrustmaster T150. Oh, as I got into the back of Max Chilton, let me get on the brakes, let him. As I don't know what gear I want to get in, but the Thrustmaster T150 offers force feedback, and for the price, you really can't beat it. Because the next level up is the Thrustmaster T300 RS, and the T300 RS is about on par, I would say, with the Logitech G27, G29, maybe just a little bit less, but that one's $100 more. It's $399. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you could get it for cheaper, but it's $200 more. My bad, I can't do math. And in fact, Thrustmaster just released a new wheel, or recently released a wheel, I think it was last year. It was for Gran Turismo Sport, called the Thrustmaster GT. And, you know, it's pretty much the best wheel Thrustmaster offers for console. Well, I mean, it's compatible for PC as well, but it's pretty much the best wheel Thrustmaster offers. It's better than the T500. You know, I'd go as, from what I've seen online, the Thrustmaster GT is on par with some of the Fantech wheels, but the Thrustmaster GT is like $800, and I'm sorry, I'm not paying for an accessory that costs more than the console itself. So maybe later on, like in a year or two, I'll upgrade from the T300. I think that's about as far as I'll go. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want to invest in an accessory. These guys are shenanigans up ahead, but it looks like, okay, we're on the backstretch, so I'm going to remain in the throttle. But the reason why I don't want to get a more expensive wheel is simply because, for one, I really don't have the money, but two, I don't want to... Damn it, Buddy Lazier. I gotta get it. Jesus. It always seems like in every racing game that there's cars that you just don't want to be around, even when the AI are controlling them. Like, when I used to play NASCAR 15 on the PlayStation 3, it would be Michael McDowell in the 95. I just couldn't be anywhere around him. And anytime I was around him, it always seemed like something bad happened. And right now, it's Buddy Lazier in the number 4. But anyway, I really can't afford a really expensive wheel. I mean, I do have a job and I could save up for it, but I don't want to break the bank. Number 2, I don't want to buy a wheel for that's more expensive than the console. That'd be like buying a $600 car and putting, you know, $2,000 worth of rims on it. It just doesn't make any practical sense. And number 3, I don't know how long, you know, the PlayStation 4 is going to be, you know, the current console. You know, in the next few years, PlayStation might release another console, you know, a newer console that that the current Thrustmaster, Logitech, and Fantech wheels are not compatible with. So that's really it. And besides, the T150 is really an entry-level wheel. And for the price, you know, I've read reviews online, everybody said that the wheel is great, it's met their expectations. I read 1 or 2 bad reviews, but apparently one guy didn't have the cord to connect everything up and he had to go and buy it himself. I don't think that's necessarily a bad mark on the wheel as much as it is Thrustmaster, the company, you know, shipping an incomplete product, or a product without, you know, all the wires and whatnot. But the reviews I read were generally positive. You know, I haven't seen a review complaining about, you know, that was close. I haven't seen a review complaining about the wheel. You know, everybody said that the wheel has met their expectations. The force feedback was great. I've even seen a few guys say that, you know, for the price, you know, you can't beat the pedal and wheel setup if you get the Pro. And the cool thing about the Thrustmaster T150 is that it's compatible with most other Thrustmaster products. So say if I want to get the Thrustmaster shifter, the stick shift, I could get that. And it would be compatible with the setup. So I'm going to get the Thrustmaster Pro package with the better pedals and the T150 wheel. And then later on down the road, I'll go ahead and get the stick shift add-on for it. And yeah, I'll have a pretty nice setup. Well, I use the word nice generally. I'm gonna make a video showing you guys the setup when I do get it, and I'll probably be getting it within the month. I'm waiting on my tax refund to hit, and once my tax refund hits, then I'll get it, do a few races, and do a proper review for you guys. But basically, I'm gonna have the wheel clamped onto a TV tray and the pedals underneath the TV tray, because with the way my current living situation is arranged, I don't have a lot of space for a proper desk. I mean, I have enough room for my TV and my PlayStation and all my games to sit, you know, in a nice TV stand. Surprised the race engineer hasn't called me into pit yet. I may have to tone down the time progression because it's getting dark here. But yeah, once I get the wheel and the pedals and... Alright, we're coming into pit. I'm gonna get off the throttle now. Hard on the brakes. Actually locking up the brakes, getting the tires, but that's okay because we're getting new ones. We want to stay under 37 miles an hour. Thankfully, in Indy Car, they have an electronic... when the car enters pit road, the car is limited to the pit road speed electronically, but you have to get onto pit road first. You know, if you get onto pit road, or if you enter pit road over the speed limit, you'll still get a penalty. There's my pit box, so I'm going to go into the transition lane. There we go. Perfectly in. I don't know why, but it seems like every time the right front tire changer is slower than everybody else.
Go!
Well, I'm so used to the car being in neutral and you have to shift up to first to get it out of the box that when I then, you know, it stays in first and I end up shifting up to the second. My pit road entry gets all screwed up. So we probably lost a lap pitting, but once we cycle through, we should be okay. Oof. So I don't want to come back up into traffic. So that's one pit stop complete. Hopefully we'll be able to make it on one more pit stop. Whoa! Guy's way in the grass. I'm going to get under him here in the corner. Basically passing him on the apron. That takes some balls. And when I do get my wheel, I will actually start what it's like to race online. I have raced online on Project Cars. Like I said earlier today, I did. But I like the online setup on Gran Turismo a lot better. You can do lobby racing in Gran Turismo, but they have a online mode called Sport Mode, where they have races, where they hold scheduled races. Like, you know, they'll have a race start like every half hour, and there'll be 3 different races. That way, you know, you could start at the bottom of the hour, middle of the hour, and top of the hour. I'm gonna let him get in front of us. That way we can draft. No, he's gonna put in the grass. But anyway, and you actually have a safety rating and a driver rating, so if you race clean and you finish the races decently, your driver and safety rating will go up. But if you race dirty and, you know, you finish bad, then your driver and safety rating will go down. And that's only in the online championships that Gran Turismo hosts, and the sport mode with the regularly scheduled races every day. And the 3 races actually change up every 24 hours at 2 a.m. So you'll have like a one-make race where everybody drives the same guy. You'll have one-make races where everybody drives the same car. Then you'll have like a group race, like Group 4, which is your low-end race cars, Group 3, which is your GT3 race cars, or Group 1, which is your prototype race cars. I haven't seen a rally race in Gran Turismo yet. To be honest, I haven't even done a rally race in Gran Turismo Sport. That was quite dicey. So, as you can tell with the lighting, we're getting pretty late in the afternoon. I actually did a times 30, because the way you can adjust the times, the time progression. You know, it goes real time where time passes in real time. Then there's like times 5, times 10, times 25, times 30, times 60, I think. And I did it on a times 30, and the race actually went into night. And it was kind of funny because, you know, Indianapolis is only a partially lit track. They got light, you can probably see them, they got lights above the stands and whatnot, but they don't have lights all the way around the track. Which means, you know, it was really hard to see the cars. The only way I could see the cars was the red light on the back of each cars. Hold on, I'll go to the exterior view. Right there in the center of the gearbox, right underneath the wing. That's where the red light was. And that's the only way I could see the cars. It looks like coming through the short chute between turns 3 and 4, the sun is right in my eyes. So yeah, I have no idea I mean, I could check what position we're in, but I want to keep it as realistic as possible. You know, in real life, you know, you can't change your view, you can't check, you know, what position you're in. In real life, in Indy Car at least, you can actually adjust your fuel map, but they do it in what's called fuel mixtures, and they have 7 of them. 7 is, you know, the richest fuel mixture. That produces the most power, but you burn through your fuel a lot quicker, and 1 is the leanest fuel mixture, where you sacrifice some of the engine's power output, but you save fuel. In this game, you only have 3. You have lean, normal, and rich. So right now, I believe, let's check. Yep, I got it set to normal. So in real life, that would probably be like a 3 or a 4. And you can adjust the brake bias, which you can do in real life. Another thing you can do in real life, in Indy cars, is you can adjust the weight ballast. or as it's commonly referred to, the weight jacker. And basically what that does is it transfers the weight between the front axle and the rear axle to tighten up or loosen your car. Like, say for instance, if I were to go into a corner and my car would be tight, my car would understeer. You know, I'd turn the wheel to the left and the car would just basically stay going forward. I could adjust the weight jacker position forward to put more weight over the front wheels, so the tires grip the track more and the turning is better. Now say I go into the corner and the rear end of the car steps out from underneath me and I have to counter steer or the car spins. I could set the check that. Now say I go into a corner and I turn the wheel and the car turns too much and the back end begins to step out, otherwise known as loose or oversteer. I could set the weight jacker back to put weight on the rear wheels, that way the car doesn't spin out when I go into a corner. I may not be a smart guy, but I do understand weight and physics when it comes to a race car. I guess that comes as a virtue of a race fan. Shit! Thank God that was only a bump. I do apologize for the swear word there. I mean, I know I said damn it in hell, but I like to keep this a rated PG channel. I have no words. Ah, damn it. I have absolutely no words. I really don't know what just happened there. The car in front of me slowed up. Or the car in front of me was slow and I was expecting him to stay low, and he came up, and when I hit him, my car just went straight up like it was a jump jet. That probably screwed our race right there. Now if that was real life, that would have been a pretty nasty wreck, and if the damage was on, that would have been the race right there. Like, the entire front end of my car probably would have been gone. But that's alright. It looks like I just saw an AI pit. Well, we're gonna block this guy. I don't think we lost a lap, but we sure did lose a lot of time. I'm actually going to draft with this guy. The Doom Honda. These, I did look it up. These cars are the 2016 paint schemes. And the reason why I think they are the 2016 paint schemes is because I believe this game came out in the spring, like March, April of 2017. So they didn't have all the paint schemes yet, because the Indy Car season is weird, and the Indy Car season doesn't start Petersburg. I believe they start in St. Petersburg. They go to another track. Oh well, we're in the top 10, so we're okay. So they start in St. Petersburg, they go to another race. I want to say it's Long Beach, but I'm not too entirely sure. And then they go to Indianapolis. and they have a whole month. The entire month of May is devoted to the Indy 500 with practice, qualifying, and then the race happening on Memorial Day weekend. The Memorial Day weekend on Memorial Day Sunday is quite possibly the biggest day in racing, because you have 3 motorsports doing 3 big races. You have the F1 Grand Prix in Monaco, which is F1's biggest event. We're 1 lap down, so we did lose a lap in that little fiasco. But anyway, Memorial Day Sunday starts with F1 at Monaco, which is their biggest event of the year. He just straight up door slammed me. That was all on him. Ah, God bless. The AI may be competitive, but they can't race worth a damn. I'm letting you go. See what I mean? I'm letting him go. And he does the same thing. Jesus Christ. This race is an absolute shit show. But anyway, Memorial Day Sunday starts off with the Formula 1 Grand Prix at Monaco, which is their biggest event. Then, at about noon, 1 o'clock, the Indy 500 starts, which is Indy Car's biggest event of the year. And then around 4 or 5 o'clock, the Coca-Cola 600 starts, which is NASCAR's longest race of the year. Which for the past 2 years I've actually been to. I went there in 2016 and last year. I don't think I'm going again this year. Me and a friend of mine, we actually won the tickets in an auction both years in a row. And this year I don't think we got the tickets. I don't think the tickets were available in the auction anymore. I don't think they could acquire them anymore for auction, or I don't know what the deal was, but they weren't available, so we're not going. I don't think. Because I live, we might actually see a little bit of night racing here. Yeah, I didn't expect this. See, here's how you can tell my inexperience with the, time progression. I may have to, because, I set the start of the race to about 1 o'clock. And it's now like 6 o'clock. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep the time progression on real time. How much fuel do we have? I have no idea how much fuel we have. Yeah, the only way the Indianapolis 500 would go this long is if there was like a big red flag crash, which we would have been. I wish the spotter would tell me, like, you know, when we're quarter way through the race, halfway, 3/4 of the race. You know, he'll tell you when you're on the last lap, but, you know, it'll be nice to tell you if he's like, you know, you're halfway, you know, 10 laps to go, 5 laps to go. Everybody else has had to pit except us, so hopefully we're back on the lead lap. The race engineer isn't telling me that we're a lap down anymore, which is good. Yeah, I think in real life at this point, if the Indianapolis 500 were to go on this long to where the sun would start setting, I think at this point they would call the race, because visibility is getting harder, and of course Indianapolis doesn't have a full light fixture. That would be very difficult. Like, it's kind of hard to see the cars down the track. He's got too big of a run. So visibility isn't that great at this time of day. So I think Indy would call the race. Just fantastic. I have off on Wednesday from work, so I'll probably do a midday stream. Probably about like 1, 2 o'clock, see if more people watch it. Yeah, see, look, there's that red light I was talking about earlier. That's the only way you can really see the cars at night. I think it would be kind of cool to see night racing at Indianapolis 500. Well, not for the Indianapolis 500, but at Indy in general. Simply because, really, the only 2.5 mile track in the United States that has full light fixtures is Daytona, the Daytona International Speedway, and Idny Car doesn't race there. Only NASCAR does, and they do a night race there in July. I mean, Idny Car does race at Texas, and that's a night race. There are lights at the Fontana track, or the Auto Club track, in Fontana, California. Okay, we're gonna come into pit. If I don't miss the pit road, shit. It's one way to enter pit road. Looking for my guys, looking for my guys. I do apologize for how crappy this race has been. There are my guys down there, so I'm going to get into the transition lane. Remember, don't shift up into second, don't shift up into second. You can see all the dirt and ick on the car. Probably chunks of rubber hitting the car.
Ready, go.
Hopefully we can get a good top 10 finish. So we should be able to make it to the end of the race. as we get to see a beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana sunset. I do like the look of the sky. That is very beautiful. I mean, come on, even if you're not a fan of racing games, you do have to admit that that is beautiful. As we get some of the lights coming on. My PlayStation reminding me that internet sucks. I hope that didn't kick the stream offline. I want to pause and check, but last time I did this, the stream kept going just fine. It was just at a very crappy quality. I don't know, it's gone away, so maybe the stream is back to normal. So night racing in Indy Car. How about that? Night racing at the Indy 500. I'm gonna check real quick to make sure the stream is still up and going. Test. Okay, it is. I'm gonna check real quick to make sure the stream is still up and going. Test. Okay. I do apologize for that. So yeah, next time I'll just have the time progressions just set on real time. That way we don't get into nighttime. I'll set the time progression to real time, and I'll set the start of the race to noon, rather than at 1. Okay. So this has been interesting nonetheless. Had quite the catastrophic wreck. Had 2 guys run over me, and the race has gone into night. So we should be coming up towards the end of the race. I've also turned on the not mandatory pit stop. I turned on the cooldown lap. That way when the race ends, you know, I'll be able to slow down, relax. Pace is matching the leader. Race engineer is happy. So I don't think Indianapolis actually has these lights. I think the game just put them in there so you could do night racing. Because without those lights, it would be absolutely pitch black and we couldn't see anything. Binding up the chassis there, that's why the car is shaking like that. I know because the go-kart track I go to in Raleigh, the go-kart does the same thing in one corner. It's a very technical corner, and I actually act as my own weight jacker by pulling myself forward. Whoa! So that's what, twice? 3 times we've been airborne?
Two legs behind. Green flag. Let them through.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
Stay high.
This race has been a complete shit show. Absolutely terrible. Hopefully this race will end soon. Like, I want to check, but then I don't want to check. I want to keep it real, but I just want to know how long we got.
Stay up.
But there's nobody low. Yeah, look, the game is so out of whack that my spotter is starting to hallucinate. Racing like this, where some tracks are very well lit and other parts of the track are kind of dark, reminds me of a NASCAR race at Kansas. I believe it was 2014. Where the lights in turns 3 and 4 at Kansas, they went onto their low light setting. Like, I think, I can't remember what they said, like a fuse blew, or there was a malfunction. Something happened in the lighting system to where the lights were on their dim setting rather than fully lit. And, you know, NASCAR threw a competition caution. They asked the drivers, they asked the teams if they could still see. So, you know, they did a couple pace laps. The drivers said they could see fine, the spotters said they could see fine, and they raced the rest of the race on the dim lights. And I believe, like I said, that was 2014, may have been 2015. But, I know for... Yeah, we're in full-on night racing now. I know full-on that in the 2011, the 2011 Daytona race, the pre-season race, the shootout, the clash, whatever you want to call it, they were practicing, and from turn 1 to the backstretch, the lights went completely out, and from turn 3 to the start-finish line, the lights were on the dim setting. The settings that they use for the 24-hour race. And it was pretty cool to see the cars racing around with the lights out. I mean, they eventually threw the red flag and had to bring the cars in, but the cars were on track as the lights initially went out. Yeah, that section right there coming off of turn 2 is very dark. So I did not mean for this to go from a day race to a night race, but it's pretty cool to see that, well, this is what it would look like if they did do a night race at Indy, which again, I don't think they would ever do. For one, it's breaking tradition, and two, they don't have enough light fixtures. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could install them, but that would be a very, very large undertaking. I mean, they could do it. I mean, if they could do it to Daytona, which is the same length as this, albeit a different layout, I'm pretty sure that they can do it to Indianapolis. They'll have to have lights like that, and they'll have to have lights. They'll have to have lights like they do already on the inside, and they'll have to have lights on the outside, where all those flags are. They'll probably have to put lights. God, is this race almost over? Been racing for almost an hour. My hand starting to cramp up my right hand because of the throttle. Oh no, that was the last lap. So that was pretty fun, despite all the shenanigans and going airborne and flipping numerous times. And seeing the race transition from afternoon to full-on night. It's pretty cool. You can see all the stars. I have no idea where we finished. I don't think we finished very well. So I'm going to come back around, park it in my pit stall, and we'll check the results screen. Everybody's on pit road. It looks like, hey, maybe we won, and we just don't know it. Usually the, oh, I know there's still cars on track. But I say, usually the race engineer lets you know if you're going to win. I don't know, maybe the race engineer got tired and went to sleep. So our pit box... Where is it at? Where is it at? I think I just missed it. Oh no, this is our pit box right here. Oh no, we didn't finish first. We finished 27th. Wait, we finished on the lead lap. Well, actually no, we finished a lap down. There's only 8 cars on the lead lap. Hey, we were one of the few cars to do it on 2 pit stops, so... How the hell was that dude disqualified? So not the best effort, probably because we wrecked a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you all for watching. Wednesday will be my next stream. I'll probably do it around 2-3 o'clock. Maybe a little bit later, but be sure to tune in for that if you're just watching the rerun of this. We'll run a Honda Aero kit. I think we'll run Alexander Rossi, the number 98 Napa Honda. The guy who won the 2016 Indianapolis 500 on fuel strategy, he actually went across the line with the car not running. The car ran out of gas as he was coming off of turn 4, but he's able to coast to the win, and hopefully we'll actually be able to have a decent finish. So thank you all for watching, and good night.